And we are live here at Hot Rod Spotlight Lounge, baby. This is the 1000 Comics Podcast, and I am sitting here with the long-awaited guest, Corinne Tryon. How you doing there?
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you on the show. You know?
I've been on the show, just not officially. I think almost every time I somehow got incorporated into
somehow
the show.
got roped in while we were recording over here, and you just happened to be over there, and you know.
Yep. But now it's official.
It's official, and it's nice because we've been working together. I know you don't like it, but I've called you my comedy work wife in the past.
No, it's definitely true. I just give you shit and tell you not to say it out loud.
I mean, it is kind of true because, you know, right around when has it almost been a year since we've met?
So, yeah, basically because August 29th is when I started doing stand-up, and I came out a week before to scope out Hungry Tiger,
right?
Before I did my first set. And so that was when I actually met you. But I'd actually met you kind of technically before that, you and Dan Shea. I remember I had a conversation with you when I went on that date that originally made me realize, oh, comedy's accessible.
Wait, so you brought
comedy's accessible.
You brought a date to the Hungry Tiger.
The date asked me to meet him there.
Okay.
And I'm new to the area. I was new to Manchester. I had no idea
so
what Hungry Tiger was.
So you meet him at the Hungry Tiger.
He said there's live music every night. So we went there expecting music, but it happened to be a comedy night, which I loved and he was not a fan of.
Okay. So what? He was just like shitting on all the comedy and you were like, I'm all about this.
Yeah, no, I was definitely all about it. But his first, he was like, oh, the last time I got here thinking it was music and it was comedy night, he got picked out of the crowd because he's really tall.
Yeah.
And you guys started, and I remember it was Dan Shea. We turned around to listen, and Dan said something to him because now I know that it's like very rare to have many people there that aren't comics.
I was hosting that night more than likely.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we stayed for a little bit. We had burgers, hung out. But that whole relationship didn't go well. It's actually funny because one of the dudes, I want to say his name is like Josh or John, that hangs out there. He's always got the hat. He's like a shorter dude. You know what I'm talking about?
Jason?
Jason. That's his friend. They're friends.
Yo, shout out to Jason at the Hungry Tiger. This is the most beloved regular of the Tiger. And he always kind of meanders in towards the end of comedy night.
Yeah.
But he's probably one of the coolest motherfuckers you'd ever meet. He's a good guy to have a beer with for sure.
So I had no idea that the dude that I went on the date with was friends with him until randomly one night I was talking to Jason. And Anthony walked
I think
in,
I remember.
Really
now I'm starting
kid.
to remember
He's
this
got,
dude.
Gray hair and a little bit of grays, very salt and pepper. He's hot, but he's just fucking retarded. So I didn't want to hang out with him anymore. He actually tried to hang out with me again once he saw me at Hungry Tiger, and I wasn't.
And you were like, "My God, I haven't had sex in 10 months." So maybe,
literally.
Maybe I
No,
should.
I did. I considered it because he was a good fuck. But it was just not for I'm not looking for that now. At that time, that was okay with me to be a loser dude and bar regular, which I say that now and I'm basically a bar regular at this point. But I don't know. He doesn't do anything. He's not there for a reason.
It's probably a good thing that you started putting your private parts on lockdown when you started doing open mic comedy, because there's a lot of dinguses that hang out on the scene. You ever notice that?
I have. I've noticed that quite a
bit. Guys that aren't good dating material, I would say.
I cannot suggest enough.
And I'm kind of hanging myself with this conversation, aren't I?
I'm glad that you're self-aware, Matt. I would definitely strongly suggest other female comedians not date your
Matt
male. Heath? You said it, not me. I was just gonna say male comedians in general, your colleagues. You know, that's how I try to treat it. And like, sure, everybody, there's an exception to the rule of
well, don't you remember we've obviously put this on the shelf for a little while, but don't you remember me and you had this idea for a movie called Chuckle
Oh yeah,
Fucker?
I want to still do that. We're gonna do that.
Me and Corinne got this idea
You
for a
heard
movie.
it here first, okay?
But, so
Hot Rock
we
Spotlight
are
Lounge.
coining this right now. You know the term? Comics are the really the ones that only know the term chuckle fucker.
I love that.
Which
term.
is if you're unfamiliar, a chuckle fucker is a woman that
It
fucks.
doesn't have to be a woman. It can be a man that fucks a woman.
I mean,
that's essentially why we're calling it
typically
that.
speaking, because there's more male comics than there are female
It does
comics.
typically
A chuckle
end up
fucker
being
is a
woman.
woman that will fuck
But
a
it's
comic.
a person.
That will fuck a comic
Yeah.
merely because they are a comic.
Correct.
Okay? So, you remember the plot we had for this idea
It was my
for this movie?
understanding it was, taking place my comedy journey and everyone that ends up staying the night at my place, all the different it's kind of like
Oh,
a
right,
reverse
right.
crashing. It's like a reverse Pete Holmes crashing. He was crashing on other people's couches. This would be people
But it's
crashing
your
on mine,
apartment,
but
and you're
I'm
letting
not
all
fucking them.
you're letting all the
I'm
male
not-
comics
Right.
crash on your
Everybody
couch.
thinks I'm a chuckle
Because in the
fucker.
first scene of the movie, I'm like your sage advice
Yes.
like hey, don't date any male comics. It's a bad look. Blah blah blah. And then you do end up having all these platonic relationships, and all these guys start coming through, hanging out with you. And then we decided, I forget what comic, like the climax of the movie is like a comic tries to rape you or something.
Yeah, we did.
What would
decide
it
that.
like?
We were pretty drunk that night, though. That was when I popped my tire.
Yeah,
at
so I was gonna
Applebee's.
say this whole idea for a movie. Even though I feel like we were definitely picking up some steam, it's like right in the middle of this deep conversation we were having about this movie. Corinne, we were driving to Applebee's for Dude's Evening. I don't know if you're familiar with the podcast Dudesy, but they have a holiday called Dude's Evening, which we were about to celebrate at Applebee's, and Corinne smacked a curb,
fucking hard.
blew out a tire, and then didn't have a donut, right?
No, I did, but I didn't have a jack.
Yeah, you didn't have a jack.
That would have been a whole thing, and so I had to become Ian for the night. Remember, Ian let me use his
Oh, it wasn't even
AAA.
your AAA.
No, he let me use his AAA.
What the
I
fuck,
don't have
man?
AAA, bitch. I'm a cheap, broke ass hoe. I'm unemployed.
Speaking of AAA, you want to talk about my trip to Maine?
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's all on you, dude. Talk all about it.
Holy shit. And you know something? You really came through for me there.
I didn't do shit. All I did was get
You made the
Tanya
right
involved.
phone call because
I know people in places, okay?
I haven't really told you the full story, have
No,
I?
you haven't. I've only heard bits and pieces.
My God. So I might as well start from the beginning. The girl I'm seeing, she's been nagging me for months to take this trip up to fucking Maine with her. You know?
It wasn't. Okay, I'll just let you go.
She wanted to go to her friend's vow renewal.
Okay, it
And
was
I-
not to see Stephen King's house. That was just a bonus.
So that was like a bonus for
Gotcha.
me, anyways, because I was not real excited to go to this vow renewal. You know, we had to bring the kids, which that's not a problem for me, but
It is. It's like a whole thing, though.
but if something goes wrong, which it did, I'm telling her car is not good enough
What does she
for
drive?
a 9-hour trip. A Mazda 3, and it's got 190,000
What
miles
year is
on
it?
It's a 2010.
That's not that bad.
But the car's.
When's the last time she got an oil change?
But since she's bought the car has been in the shop longer than she's had on the road, and I don't know anything about this vehicle and what it's capable of doing. But as far as I knew, it had a fresh oil change because it just came out of the shop.
What happened?
So, well, let's let me take you through the whole thing first. That first night we left, we drive up, we spend the night in Bangor. I wake up the next morning, like she goes, "Hey, Stephen King's house is 2 miles from here." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, Stephen King." We go, we stand outside the gate, like we're like making, jokes about Stephen King and shit. We like taking pictures of like the kids in front of the place and everything. But you know something? I gotta say, Corinne, you don't go to the fucking gates of hell and laugh in the devil's face, all right? That's
good
bad.
Advice.
That's a bad idea, guys. It's a bad idea because, like, did you ever see the movie Thinner?
Thinner?
Thinner.
No. Is that a Stephen King movie?
Stephen King.
No.
Now, this one's, like, about this guy, right? He's getting roadhead from, like, a woman. He's, like, a really fat guy.
Or a man.
He's a really fat guy, and he's getting roadhead from a woman. And he fucking hits this old gypsy woman with his car. And he gets out of the car to go check on her to see if she's, like, alive. And she reaches out and grabs his face and is like, "Thinner," and puts a fucking gypsy curse on him where he can't stop losing weight.
Oh, yeah, you did tell me about that before. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm having a feeling that, you go to Stephen King's house, you don't poke the bear, the master of horror.
That's good to know.
Anyways, we drive all the way up to fucking Fort Kent, fucking East Bumblefuck. We're in a Stephen King movie at this point.
Right.
You ever seen Stand By Me, where it's like a really small town in Maine, and there's probably kids getting molested in the woods and shit?
Jesus Christ.
No, just one of them gets killed.
No, they're not molested. They're just killed. It's okay.
No, one of them just gets
It's
killed.
not a dog, so it's fine.
I mean, did you see Cujo?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that one takes place in Maine, too. Yeah. Anyways, fucking, it is that Castle Rock fucking Stand By Me fucking part of Maine. It is fucking scary, man. There's no street lights. You might hit a fucking moose. Right. Like, her friends up there are, like, Canadian. Like, I don't even know, like, how she met these people.
There,
yeah,
right?
she went to school. She went to school with these
See,
folks.
I know more about Matt's girlfriend than he does.
It was a nice cabin, though. I ended up watching Stand By Me in the cabin that night. We were all the way up there.
It was a very themed trip.
Yeah, well, I got on. You know how I am with, like, once I get on to something in pop culture, I don't get off it for a while, But as annoying as I was about Stephen King, it wasn't until I threw out a pack of wet Uno cards the next day.
Don't you know better?
Dude, if you're cleaning out the car, getting it ready for it to go.
You could air them out.
What?
You could air them out. Lay them out flat.
I suppose I could, but they ended up in the trash, and she was not happy about it. And here we are about to embark back on the next fucking 9 hours back, and we're arguing about the Uno cards, and she punches me in the face.
Wow. Yeah.
Breaks my sunglasses.
Jesus Christ, she really got you.
And you know what's crazy about that? I just dropped $50 so everybody could have sunglasses. They were BOGO at CVS.
Instantly.
That was like the one thing I said to her too. I was like, if you buy me a pair of sunglasses, we're like at the Canada border and she hasn't gotten me sunglasses yet, so I just buy everybody sunglasses. And she punched them off my face and broke them. Anyways.
Oh, God, to be a fly on the wall in that car.
That's when I proceed to pull over the car and say, "You fucking drive the rest of the way." Which was probably a mistake. Well, it was a mistake because I get out of the car, she gets into the car, and then she just takes off.
And you're in the middle of nowhere.
And I am, well, it's funny, middle of nowhere, means you don't know where you are. I knew exactly where I was. I was looking out at Canada on this side of the road, and I was looking at Maine on this side of the road.
But there was like stuff around where you could go into or something and sit and...
the next like store was probably a couple miles down.
Oh, wow, okay. So it's kind of far.
I mean, I did notice like a Freemason sign when she like came back to pick me up, so I knew like if I went over to like a lodge or something, I could find some brotherhood or something that like, you know, this crazy woman like
let me in. I need my pee-pee sucked. They'll let me in.
I probably wouldn't know the secret handshake anyways. Right. What the fuck? None of those dudes.
You don't have the apron. You don't have the fucking compass. You don't got anything.
All right, let's not talk about that shit before one of us gets killed. All right.
My grandfather was a Freemason, okay? I can talk about it.
So my grandfather was too.
I know, everybody
who's white's grandfather was a fucking Freemason.
It means nothing.
Back then it was like
you just pay a
back
fee
then it was like the
In.
Flintstones.
They
were fucking
okay?
What was the Fred Flintstone's lodge called?
Oh God, you would know better than anyone.
The fucking Caribou or no, the fucking.
You are right. Yeah.
The Fraternal Order of the Buffalo, the water buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That was a good one.
So, anyways, I thought I would just Flintstone my ass all the way fucking back from Canada. Anyways, she turned around. She picked me up.
She came back. She decided she couldn't leave you.
You know what's funny though? Like when you're walking, I was walking down that road for like a half hour, and you have a lot of time to fucking reflect in a half hour like that. And I wasn't even like really like at that point I was more relieved than upset that I was just fucking walking down the street by myself. And I'm like thinking, I've been at rock bottom before. You know, I just got to make a lateral move at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been there too, dude.
But then she picked me up. I started crying a little bit.
You're like, oh, thank God. I don't have to deal with this alone.
No, so we're like pretty much silent to each other most of the way back down. And we're getting closer to the border of Maine. And we go through a toll booth, and the car starts smoking, and fucking, we just hear a loud fucking bang. And I just start veering to the fucking side of the road. The fucking engine had fucking blown.
That's wild.
I call AAA.
You're cursed, dude.
I called AAA, and there's like no AAA in Maine, basically.
Really?
There's like so few people in fucking.
They're just
Maine.
like, we don't tow anyone up
here.
Well,
you'll call AAA. They'll be like, fucking, like, yeah, I'm like busted on the side of the road, like you're AAA,
we'll see you in
right?
7 hours.
And they'll go, yeah, but it's Maine and it's also Sunday, so you're kind of.
Oh,
fucking
it was Sunday.
Screwed.
Yeah, because you texted me the next day.
So I called the cops, and then like a state trooper got a tow truck for us.
Oh, okay.
The tow truck took us to the hotel. Fucking, we spent the night in the hotel. Fucking, she wakes me up the next morning, and she's like, will you go down and get us breakfast? I was like, fuck no, you go down and get us breakfast. And I watched fucking Sesame Street with the kids. I hadn't watched Sesame Street in fucking...
Oh, I love watching Sesame Street.
I haven't watched Sesame Street in years.
Yeah.
And you probably wouldn't notice this because you're kind of a lefty Larry, but they're really pushing the fucking liberal agenda now on Sesame Street.
I don't watch it enough to really see a whole episode.
I don't watch it enough either.
It looks the same.
I've only seen the old shit. It's not the same because I was watching this episode and it seemed like D for dress up. All right.
Okay.
It's like pretty much the same as we were kids. But this one fucking message they were like trying to send the kids. in this part where they're playing dress up and they're putting on a play. And Elmo's going to play Papa Bear. And fucking the bear Muppet is going to play Baby Bear. And fucking this little Mexican girl wants to play Goldilocks. And then this other puppet chimes in is like, you can't play Goldilocks like you're Mexican. Like,
oh shit!
Because she doesn't have like
That's
blonde.
wild.
She doesn't have blonde hair.
Yeah, but then you just put a wig on.
Now, and then like Elmo sets this other puppet straight. He's like, hey, you can't tell other people they can't do things based on the color of their skin. And you know something? You can't like put like a message like that for 2-year-olds because it's too deep of a message. Because it's not, because if you like, there's a flip side to that where like if a white kid wanted to play Martin Luther King in a play, like, and a puppet said something about it, it would be a completely fucking different story. There's too many ways to look at this fucking shit for it to be a Sesame Street. Fuck, just stick to the counting shit.
Yes, it is
stick
really
to the
deep
Cookie
and
Monster
whatever.
fucking
but
eating
no,
cookies.
because I will disagree in the sense of that, you know, having been a child in a different time, it was still heavily pressed on us that it didn't really matter. Ultimately, you know, it doesn't matter the color of your skin or the color of your hair or whatever. It's literally playing pretend when you're that little. And it's like, it doesn't matter. And that's like the point. It's like inclusion regardless of these stereotypes that we put. Yes, Martin Luther King Jr. was a black man. If it was a legit play, ideally he would be a black man. But if it, you know, like it's like they're kids. It's like I can have a dream too.
Listen, I was stranded in a hotel room in Maine. I had some time to pontificate an episode of fucking Sesame Street, all right? Then that's actually when I hit you up. I said, "Hey, I'm stranded in Maine.
Like, I cannot watch this left-wing ridiculousness any longer. Get me out of here.
Get me out."
You're like that Eric Andre. I mean, let me in. But you're like, let me out.
I literally just heard somebody.
JJ's
Rev.
going at it over there.
Rev.
He's all revved
Take
up.
it down a
Rev
couple
is
decibels.
revved
We're
up.
trying to record over here, bro. I know you're obsessed about left-wing Sesame Street, too, bro. We're gonna get through this. Okay. That's when I called you, and then you put out the word, and so by the time Danya called me up, I'm at a Hertz rent-a-car getting denied to fucking rent a car.
Why?
Because I fucking didn't have enough for the fucking incidentals. I thought it was $200 to rent a car because you look it up, it's $200.
Well, but
then it's $200 on top of that, and I'm like,
they put a hold on your card. You'll get it back, but
to tell you the truth, I probably could have fucking moved some money around, but once I finally talked to Danya and she goes, "Hey,
so wait, okay, sorry."
She goes, "Where in Maine are you?" I'm like, "I'm in Auburn." She goes, "I live a half hour from there."
Right.
She said, "I'll come pick you guys up." She came, she picked us up. We spent the night in her guest house. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Danya.
Shout out Danya, you're a real one.
Yeah, Danya, great comic, great friend. You know, she'll help you out if the Stephen King put the fucking curse on you. And I'll show you a picture later, like some pictures from. But Danya took like me, Portia, and the kids out to like she's like a couple miles from the beach, and oh my God, the beach where she's at it's beautiful.
I know. I'm
jealous. It was way better than that fucking dumpster, fucking dusty Stephen King town we went to.
Yeah, better than your hotel.
Anyways, I've been talking about myself way too much.
You had to let that story out, and I get it. I understand now.
This is your episode.
But I can't believe I do have one question, though. You just left your vehicle in Maine? Or her
I didn't leave my vehicle in Maine.
I mean, you guys are a team, right? You're a couple. So
Not after she punched me in the dome.
You're not talking to her anymore?
No, we're not. We're not. We're broken up now.
Gotcha. Well,
ladies out there in podcast land, I am single and ready to mingle. Guys, I'd like to take a moment to talk about the specials here at Hot Rod Spotlight Lounge.
special time.
There's
Listen
a
up.
taco special. You could either get 2 tacos and a beer for $10, or 3 tacos for $9.
Great
Chicken
deals.
or beef?
I've had them. They're great.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday at Hot Rod.
You could also get the burger and French fries special. Standard L top, pepper jack cheese. I think this may have just been food. Clark was telling me that that is a special. That's the burger special. What's the okay? Guys, there's a burger special going on.
Get the burgers.
You could also
while they're
get
hot.
it. You could also get one. We have hot
The
dogs.
Tres Cocos are here.
We have hot dogs now. We have hot dogs. One of them is the Hot Rod, and one of them is the Heath Dog.
Oh, really? There's hot dogs? I'm
hot dogs.
sucking down a glizzy.
But-
I'm not sucking down Matt's glizzy, though. Sorry. All of the regular
You won't have the
ones.
Heath Dog?
Nah, I'm having the red.
What the
Reggie.
fuck?
What's on the Heath Dog?
It's, relish and spicy mustard.
Ooh, that is the way I
And
like
onion.
us. That's the way I like. I can't do onions, but I do love a relish.
Homemade
and mustard.
sweet relish.
You got to get some ketchup on there too.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
I love a Chicago dog. You get one of those little peppers on there.
And in honor of the Garfield movie, we are having lasagna tonight here at the
Heck yeah.
Hot Rods. Clark, I will have 1 lasagna, please, if you are listening.
Can someone put me number 1 on the open mic list? I can't stay. I'm tired.
You want me to grab you anything to chow down on here for
Yeah, let me get a glizzy, yo. I'll try a Matt dog.
Yeah.
I'll try. I'll have
Hey,
a
John,
Heath dog.
could you put this stuff
Could
in
I also,
for us?
but no onions,
We're gonna
please.
have a hot rod and the lasagna.
You're also gonna have a hot rod dog.
No, you're gonna have the hot rod.
No, I said I want the Heath one. I want mustard and relish.
Oh, you see, you.
No, I do. I
You,
actually do
oh,
like
you
that.
are gonna have.
I'm sorry.
My wiener.
I know it's
Okay.
fucked up, but I'm still. That's how I like my dogs. Except no onions and add ketchup, please. We're modifying the Heath dog. This is the Corinne dog now.
That's the hot. Okay, well, I guess we could have Corinne dogs.
I'm sucking my own glizzy tonight.
You're like Meg on Family Guy when she's got the pack of hot dogs. She's like, I'm
Yo,
gonna pretend you're the
when
New
I think
York
of hot
Knicks.
dog, my best friend, and I don't know if she still does this, she used to eat just hot dogs right out of the package, cold, like out of the fridge, and she'd be like, "It's just like bologna," and I'm like, "I guess you're not wrong, but there's just something wrong about you. Gotta like heat it up."
Well, hot dogs you don't because they're already cooked.
They're
I
lips
guess
and
like
assholes.
you don't have to I don't know. It's just like you know what I will eat though that would probably bother you without cooking it. I'll eat like Chef Boyardee right out of the can.
No, that's wild, dude.
Yeah.
I like a good Chef Boyardee, a SpaghettiOs. I haven't had them in years, but I can fuck with that. But they gotta be heated up. That's wild.
Yeah, but shit's already
It just tastes
cooked.
like the can, dude. You're just eating it straight out of the can.
Yeah.
I bet you that tastes straight like metal.
Nah,
Ugh.
it
You eat
tastes
beans
like
out of
that
the can?
sauce.
Yeah, that sauce just tastes like
It
metal
tastes
to begin with.
like a Mama Boyardee made it.
Hardly, but it passes. I'm down with that.
Did you see that new Seinfeld movie, by the way, about the
No,
Pop-Tarts?
I've really wanted to see it, though. I just haven't had time. I'm not going out tomorrow night because I need to sit down and write. I have a couple things I got to write for this weekend. So maybe I'll have an opportunity to watch it tomorrow.
Yeah. The fatter guy from SNL played Chef Boyardee in it.
The fatter guy from SNL. Who's
Fucking
that?
what's his name?
I don't really watch SNL very much these days. I just see the popular clips.
Hey guys, what's the name of the fatter guy from SNL? The one that's alive and still on SNL.
I don't know. I feel like they don't make fat people famous really anymore. I don't know who's fat right now. You're not fat.
Do you think it's too much of a liability? You like, because honestly, like, it's so weird for me watching Saturday Night Live because I feel like the people that are on Saturday Night Live are too young to even remember when Saturday Night Live
they're like
was
our
good.
age.
You know what I mean? So
Most
like,
of those people are our age.
a lot of that dream for me is like, I feel like kind of dead, where it's like fucking like they don't remember when like Farley and fucking Sandler and all those
but
guys
I bet
were on
working
it.
for a place like that is different. Like there's people that like maybe didn't grow up with it, but they are aware of it and they, know the lore based off because they work there. Like,
Yeah.
Like you kind of got to.
But
imagine.
at the same time, I don't think you're going to have like guys like John Belushi and Chris Farley ever like even like breaking through
agreed. They're never
on there because
it's not the same level. You're never going to get like that same level of explosion. There's been some people though that I feel like have come off of that show that do pretty well.
I don't think like somebody I don't think a guy who, well, let's be frank about it, like Belushi or Farley, like a guy who's a cokehead could fucking make it in the corporate world of Saturday Night Live. Yeah. I'm sure there's cameras like fucking everywhere in those buildings now and like fucking, I don't know. You know what I mean?
No, I do. I get that. That's how I felt like when like I found out that they were putting cameras in schools and stuff. I'm like, I used to sneak out of high school. Like, I don't know how kids have any kind of like rebelliousness or, like, I mean, it's for the best.
I don't even know what rebellion is anymore, though, because it's like certain things that used to be taboo before aren't now, where it's like
weed
now if you could just go buy weed at a store, you could fucking like, you could bet on sports on a fucking app.
I know, that's
where it's like weird. It's like you used to have to go to a sleazy bookie and you'd be like, talk to the bookie and you'd be like, oh, you want to bet on the Yukon Goyles? I heard the other team's bleeding.
The kid's just like, yeah, man, whatever you say, dude. Like,
yeah. So what I'm saying is, like, yeah, it's like things used to be.
No onions, please. Basically, Matt's dog, so like the relish with the mustard.
She wants the Heath
Just
Dog.
Ketchup added, please. Yes, please. I love onions, but they don't love me anymore. I'm an old lady. Mm-hmm. I'll have like the worst heartburn.
You ever go to that place Doogie's in New Britain?
No. Ooh,
So
I've heard of them before.
What do you have to do to win the prize in that place? Like, because don't you get to like eat for free if you could eat the whole like thing and under? I think it's two. Do you know what the fucking deal is in that place?
Oh, 2 2-foot. That's a lot.
2 2-foot long hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Nah, I couldn't do that.
You think you could do that?
No, definitely not.
That's 4.
I have a very big. My eyes are big. I'd be like, yeah, I
They'll
could
load
do
them
that,
up.
and
that might be easier for me. I don't think I could. Yeah. I couldn't eat all that fucking
meat.
Plain. Are you kidding me?
I need
some relish. I need some relish to fucking lubricate that bad boy. You know what I mean?
Slip it down.
Yeah, I couldn't just fucking take fucking.
You know what though?
4
That's
feet
very
of
valid
fucking
because the people
dry
that have you ever seen the competition hot dog eaters? They fucking dunk their whole bun and shit in water and then they just stuff them down. Yeah, so that makes sense. They got to be a little lubed up.
Sounds like it turns you on, like you feel that way about hot dog eating contests.
No.
It's the way I feel when I watch.
I
like,
do not like
when I
watching
watch
people.
like women's tennis
It's
and I just hear the grunting.
repulsive
you
watching
know?
people do hot dog eating contests. I don't get turned on from that.
What about women's tennis? Don't you like the grunting?
No, not particularly. I like men grunting.
Yeah. Is there a sport that does it for you, that turns you on a little bit to watch
No,
it?
I've just never really been a big sports person. I will say I went to a Yard Goats game with Asha, her fiance, and his
That's
buddy.
the one you bought me a bowling, or
Yeah,
you got me a
I got it
free
for
bowling
free.
shirt at there.
I
yeah.
got that gifted to me from the Yard Goats, and I gave it to Matt because it's like a bowling style Yard Goats shirt. But as I told you, it's pretty much shit. Like it's like for show. It's like not a good material.
It needs another button.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like my whole belly hangs out of it. Or I gotta wear like a shirt under it, I
yeah,
guess.
there you go. Just wear an undershirt.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, look at these guys' butts. Like, so I mean, I feel like I'm always like checking out the like whatever game I'm watching. But I'm not a big TV watcher of sports. I like being at like there because I don't really care unless I'm
So
there.
if you're at a baseball game,
Yeah.
that'll do it for you.
Yeah, I'll be like,
The
ooh, look at
butts.
these guys.
What about when they spank each other on the butt?
Yeah, that's hot. Dude, I did the wrestling thing with Manny. So Manny had me interviewing wrestlers.
Yeah.
All of them were so fucking hot and sweaty coming off. And then I got to interview them right after. I was like, oh, my God, this is so hot. It was, like, so much fun.
You know, just
I was
back
like,
to
Manny,
baseball
please
for
bring
one
me
quick.
back.
I actually, the last thing I said to Danya was,
you want to go to a baseball game
I
with
should
her.
bring you and Charity up to where Danya is, and maybe we should all go to a Sea Dogs
Charity and I
game.
do already plan to go visit Danya in July, so we can all go up. And
maybe
visit her.
Danya got enough of me just in that one weekend. You know?
She's like, yeah, I mean, maybe.
Oh, there's a thing I forgot to tell you about the trip to Maine. I left my fucking belt in the car when we left the car.
Oh, shit.
So I
It's
couldn't
still
wear
there?
my jeans, so I had to wear fucking Simpsons fucking swim trunks like the whole fucking weekend.
These are my pants now.
Which is probably the real reason they didn't rent a car to me. I looked fucking insane. I'm
He's like,
sitting
"This
in
guy's
there with
homeless.
Simpsons
He's
swim
gonna
trunks
live out
on.
of our car now.
Yeah.
That's wild. So is the car still there? Do you know? You just haven't talked to her?
As far as I know, the car's still there.
Well, how is she getting to and from work?
Rides.
That's wild. Wild. People lived differently than I could. That's crazy.
Corinne, you know, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
It's nuts. Yeah.
Who was your biggest influence as a comedian when you were young? Who was your favorite comedian when you were young?
Well, I would say my biggest influence probably as a female comic is Joan Rivers. I feel like I remember seeing her on
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers. We've got Joan on the red carpet tonight. And it's just like she was just like so ruthless and hilarious to me. But I think like my type of style and my humor, she's also my type of humor too, but you know, she's from like a different generation, and I feel like my top ones were always like Dave Attell, Dave Chappelle, Norm Macdonald, Louis C.K.
I saw you just like the Norm Macdonald video I posted the other day. I remember that fucking when he was in that Jon Stewart interview.
Like, you know, his moth joke, he's got this long, you know, all of his jokes are just so long-winded and pointless, and you get to the end, and every time it just fucking cracks you up. He reminds me so much of Brian Glass. Like, I feel like that's why I love Brian Glass's comedy so much. Like, they're very similar in their delivery. And
what about me? I don't remind you of Norm Macdonald at all?
No, like I said, when I first met you, you reminded me a lot of Dave Attell. That was like, I feel like you have the same mannerisms. You kind of look like him. Like you're taller than him. He's like a short guy, but I feel like you definitely have very similar delivery. You're like an old school guy, you know, and you have those good like quick witty things that people remember and it sticks with you. And I do. I feel like if I'm going to compare you to anyone,
all right. You don't need to blow smoke up my ass.
I'm being serious. I wouldn't say if I didn't believe it. Like,
no, but back to Joan Rivers for a second.
Yeah.
I probably love Joan Rivers more than I care to admit.
Yeah.
I read her.
She's a huge female comics, like a lot of female comics. That's their influence for sure.
When I read her book, I've read like a lot of comedians' memoirs, and I read Joan Rivers. I wish I still had the copy of that book. It had her actual autograph in it, though. For whatever reason, I got a copy at the bookstore that
Didn't
had
you do the same thing to Artie Lang's book?
What?
Didn't you have a book that someone gave you with his signature in it, and then
no,
it
was just a note.
I thought I already saw it.
It was like a note for somebody else because somebody let me borrow the book. I don't remember. But that Joan Rivers book, it's like I feel like Joan Rivers is like she knew her own voice like so well that it was like it was probably you could hear her talking as you read the book
For sure.
better than like any
you just
other book
hear
I've ever
her
read. Yeah,
saying it.
yeah.
Another big one actually is right up on the wall here is Lucille Ball. She, I used to watch I Love Lucy with my mom.
Yeah.
And we would just, the slapsticky comedy, it was so much fun to me. And like watching Three Stooges with my brothers and my dad and like, there's just like all these things that definitely you don't realize until later on.
You kind of remind me of Lucy, maybe not the but
I'm
the
very expressive.
but the character especially, 'cause
Yeah.
it's like I'm this guy like running the hungry tiger, and then all of a sudden you show up with like your crazy schemes and shit. And, that's what like because she's always like that's what the whole thing with Lucy. She's always like trying to get on. She was always trying to get on at the Coco Cabana, and Ricky was like never having it, and it was just like. I feel like just the plot of that show was so ahead of its time.
Definitely. Oh, it literally was.
Yeah.
She was like the first woman to really do that type of stuff. Even freaking now, the more I think about it, the more I realize how much all these women comics really, and like Mary Tyler Moore watching freaking Laverne and Shirley, all these things.
Well, what was really ahead of its time was, did you know that Desi Arnaz actually invented syndication? Like
I knew that the two of them together,
their
production company.
They were the first people to watch a TV show like after it like aired on TV. It was like and like fucking like the cameramen are about to like throw out the film.
That's crazy.
And Desi Arnaz is like, "What the fuck are you doing with that? We're gonna roll that again."
Yeah,
and he's literally the first guy to ever put on a rerun.
I did know that they made a lot of big moves in the movie and TV industry.
And we have the same birthday.
Oh, shit.
Me and
didn't
Desi.
know that.
August 25th, which is the day after.
No, before. I'm the 26th.
But what day is the
the roast is on the 24th. Yes.
So we're having a roast here at Hot Rod Spotlight Lounge August 24th. The day before Desi Arnaz and my birthday, and that's the day before Corinne's birthday. But let's not make it too confusing. The 24th is the day, which is a Friday, Saturday.
I want to say it's a Saturday. Let me just verify this.
Jeez, you only looked at the poster 9,000 times.
I know,
today.
but I'm an idiot.
Didn't you print them out today?
No, I've had them for a while. That's why I forgot them because they're at my house.
Bam!
Yeah, the 24th is a Saturday. It's a roast for my birthday, so I have a roast panel where everyone's going to roast me. But the idea is that we're all going to kind of roast each other, so it's not just really about me. We're all going to poke fun at each other and do like a kind of Comedy Central style.
So
roast.
Yeah, you can get your tickets on Eventbrite for this. It's right here at Hot Rod Spotlight Lounge. So make sure you get your tickets for that roast. I'll be on it. Corinne here will be on it. Well, of course she will. It's her birthday. We're roasting her.
And it's kind of like I have another show that I'm really doing for my 1-year anniversary, but it's kind of in celebration of that too.
I think I'm going to go after your dimples.
What do you mean go after them?
Because I don't really notice your dimples.
About
now that we're
roast?
now we're having a long form conversation. I never even really noticed your dimples. I think I've noticed them before, but now that we're having a long form conversation,
Brittany noticed them.
I'm really noticing them.
She was like, "Oh, you have cute dimples," and then I was like, "Yeah, they're actually a physical deformity." And she took out her phone because we're roasting each other on Saturday. I was like, "Fuck, why did I say that?"
Oh, so she's already going after your dimples. All right.
Yeah, we'll see on Saturday what she does, and then you can go before him. Maybe she doesn't do any of the content you were gonna do.
I like your Space Jam T-shirt.
This is actually the first shirt I wore when I did comedy. I purposely wore it tonight.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Did you ever hear my Space Jam joke?
I feel like you may have told me it, but I don't remember it. Because you don't say it on stage.
Because I don't know. It's a while since that new one came out. The new Space Jam.
I didn't see it.
Where it's like, I took this girl to see the new Space Jam, and it wasn't as popular as the old one. Like the theater was fucking empty.
Okay.
And it just wasn't as good. Like LeBron James can't really replace Michael Jordan.
Of course.
They're all doing all this liberal bullshit with the Looney
You
Tunes
and the liberal
now,
bullshit.
making the fucking Lola Bunny's tits smaller and shit.
We need stacked rabbits at all times.
They're fucking
in every movie.
They're getting rid of Pepe Le Pew because apparently
he's problematic
because he wants to rape the cat, I guess.
Did you actually know this? I just found this out the other day. It is a known fact in every Betty Boop cartoon, which is crazy to me because I wonder my mom knows this. My mom's a huge Betty Boop fan. In almost every episode of Betty Boop, there was one frame where her top falls down and her nipples show. She was a little.
Note to self: go look up some Betty Boop still frames.
Yeah, no, I literally just found that out the other day.
But you didn't even let me finish the Space Jam joke.
Yeah, finish your Space Jam joke.
I don't even think this is a long journey to a flaccid punchline.
You're getting Norm Macdonald on us.
Well, I don't even remember how the new Space Jam ended. All I know is that I got a hand job in the movie theater and I Space Jammed all in my pants.
I actually really like that. That was like when we went and saw Ghostbusters and we were just the whole time making jokes about Slimer's bust. Slimer's gonna bust on you.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Everybody loves bustin'.
What's you were always big into helping me with the Ghostbusters night. If you were to have a themed night of any movie, what would you if you're gonna do a comedy show that's in the theme of a movie?
I'd have to really think about that. I love movies, but I have to life roast myself on Friday, so I have to roast something about myself or my life or a thing. And I've been thinking about it, and I'm the type of person where you can ask me if I've ever seen a movie, and I'll be like, no way, I never seen that movie. We start watching it, and then it gets to a certain scene, and I'm like, oh, I've seen this movie before. Yeah. So I have to watch a movie a lot of times, and there are a lot of things I saw as a kid that I remember that I think are cool, but I feel like I'd have to really pick something because there's nothing that sticks out to me right on the spot.
Yeah, you're a bit of a space cadet. I noticed, from hanging out with you, you don't really just throw on the tube. You kind of watch
that way in a long
you watch
time.
YouTube to learn.
I'm a millennial.
Shit, it's
I try to learn stuff. Matt's I don't know anything about that.
Well, I don't know. Usually, when I get home, I just want to fucking relax. Whatever I want on TV, I want it to be just fucking entertaining.
Well, it's not always an informational video. I do watch entertaining stuff too. I'll watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, fucking TV shows and shit. But it's very rare that I have time to sit down and just watch TV. 9 times out of 10, I'm I sleep, I get up, I get ready, and I go to do comedy, and then I get home late at night, and then I just go to bed. So it's there's very few times where before I came here, I was getting ready listening to the new Charlie XCX Brat album on repeat, and that was it. I'm a big music person. I like music and getting ready to music. I've always, even when I was getting as a kid, I would put on MTV TRL, get ready to that, or I do certain movies.
And YouTube is definitely the new MTV.
For sure. It's just got mad music on it. But I watch a lot of, I guess, educational type shit. But I'm also interested in, pop culture and learning stuff. So I do think that is, consuming.
Tell the world about the miniatures. You're really into miniatures.
So I am still really into miniatures.
She likes to make a tiny town.
I do tinies, tiny Chinese. I actually went to what the hell is it called? Brimfield, Massachusetts, for the Brimfield Antique Show, and I got a whole lot of miniatures that's gonna fill my dollhouse for $30. I got a really good deal on it, but my dollhouse is in my storage right now because my new living situation is tiny itself. It's a miniature, so I can get my doll there. But what I used to do, and I haven't really done since I started doing comedy, is make my own miniatures by hand.
Right.
So using wood, clay, metal, you name it, any material, paper, would make different small things. Phone, a table, whatever.
Yo,
you
what if
name
you
it.
made a miniature of like the 1,000 comic set, like the hot
It would
rod
just take
set,
time.
like the chairs in here.
That's the one thing
Guinness
my
sign,
problem is
you
I
know?
have too many hobbies.
Yeah.
I'm like a big hobby person.
That would be a lot to put in one.
You
thing,
think
though.
so, but I could do it. It would actually be a really perfect vignette. It
Yeah.
would be really cute because I could just do this wall and this wall with the radiator and everything, kind of end it right there.
Yeah.
And it would be actually a really cute miniature. But it's a lot of work. And I don't have the space to set up a table to let that stuff just sit out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't have the room. You haven't been to my new place, have you?
I have not been to
Yeah.
your new place.
It's small.
Yeah.
It's small. My room is a bed.
It is a miniature.
It is. It's like a.
You
it's
can't make
literally-
miniatures when you're living in a
Right.
miniature.
It's literally like a room for
It's
my
a rich
bed.
man's
It's very
game.
small. Yeah.
You've been more into The Sims.
I love The Sims.
I know. That's why I brought it up.
And I, once again, haven't really played very much, but I do plan to play tomorrow because it's been so long. Tomorrow's going to be my relaxation day, okay? I'm going to get some stuff
Wednesday
done.
is
right?
my relaxation day, too.
I just normally for a while I was going to New York City with Trevor on Wednesdays, and then he's gotten booked on a few shows, and he's kind of just like been like, hey, I get it because it's exhausting. Like I just went to New York City on Sunday. I've been going pretty much once a week for a long time, and
It's
I think
expensive going down there, too.
It's not only expensive, but it's fucking exhausting. And like I literally think that's why I'm so run down today. I was just like, you know what? I have to give myself tomorrow to just relax. You know, like. So
I'm glad you were at least still gung-ho to do the podcast.
yeah, no, when you asked me this morning, I was like this close. I was like, do I say no? And I was like, you know what? No, by that time of the night, I'll be pissed at myself that I didn't go. So I'm glad I did, but I am a little tired. Most of it's allergies, and then I think I'm just running myself ragged because I'm an old bitch, and, you know, it's a little bit harder the older you get to go every night doing comedy, drinking, smoking weed, you know.
Well, the reason I wanted to put the miniatures in The Sims together is I'm wondering, do you like to play God?
That's a good question. I think it's more about like the classic. It's people call The Sims a digital dollhouse because
Right.
it is kind of that because you get to build the house and then you play with the little dolls inside, and it essentially is a version of playing with dolls. But I think for me personally, especially with the miniature stuff, it's more about making. Like I really enjoy, as long as I can remember, I've painted, drawn. I've always made little weird things out of paper and like fidgeted with shit. And I just think it's like, I guess to a certain extent you could say playing God, but it's more of just playing house, literally. I think like it's like that form of like innocent play of just having fun and not you get to do, especially with The Sims. You know, the dollhouse is one thing. You can only really do so much. With The Sims, you have a lot of possibilities to make a new cool life that you couldn't do yourself, you know? So you get to kind of play that out digitally. I will say that most people that like play video games, they don't consider Sims like gaming because it's not. Like you are just playing with dolls essentially. You go to work, you clean your house, you know, it's like stupid. But I have fun with it. I'm a build mode person too. I build the houses. I love architecture.
Right.
So I like building the houses, and I usually will spend hours building a house, and then I barely actually play with the sim. So that's kind of more for once again, I like making shit. So
Yeah.
do different ways of the house and shit like that.
This is what happens when you don't have sex in 10 months, folks.
No, that's always been the way. Even when I was having steady sex. I just am like autistic.
You're like my Sims characters have plenty of sex.
Yeah, they're definitely woohooing, okay? They're going in the red heart bed. No, I don't know if I told you this. Did you come out the night that I brought the date to Elbow and Spigot?
No.
Oh my God. So
You brought a date to
not there
two
first.
open mics?
Not first. We went to Bar Taco.
Okay.
We met at Bar Taco. He said
Okay.
he wanted to come check out a mic. But we met and had dinner first. And when I first met him,
Is he an aspiring comic?
No,
or is
no.
he just wanted to see
I met
what
someone
you
on
do?
Bumble,
Yeah.
and so because I only want to date non-comics, so I've only been looking on the apps.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And so I, against my better judgment, because he had no pictures of himself smiling. I didn't realize that until like right before the date. And then he walked in and he had fucked up teeth, dude. Not jagged. They weren't crooked.
Full meth mouth?
He smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
And he had like yellow little fucking
Ew.
nubs.
Those cigarettes probably had some meth in them.
And those cigarettes had meth in them. Yes, exactly. And like it was literally like each individual tooth had like a dark like area in the gum. And like I had been drinking a little bit when I first met him.
He's probably
this is mine. Thank
he's
you.
probably a big
look
dipper.
at this carafe.
Big dipping
this is
guy.
cool. Thanks.
Yeah, this conversation is perfect
Love
to
it.
start eating our.
Yes, talking
meal,
all glizzies.
Is that the Heath Dog or the
So
Hot Rod?
this is technically now mine because I just got relish, mustard, and ketchup.
Okay.
No onions.
I don't want a hot dog. Make my thing the Reuben. I want my.
You're like, I want the Reuben.
Can we have a Reuben named after
a
me in
Reuben
this
dog
joint?
would be good, actually.
A Reuben dog?
Yeah, put some
you know
Reuben
what?
on a dog.
Damn.
Right? Or pastrami on a hot dog.
Pastrami
That would be
on a
dank.
hot dog? Can we do that?
That'd be dank.
Hot Rod, is that possible? Yeah, pastrami on a hot dog?
Right? That'd
And
be
we'll call
so
it the
good.
Heath Dog?
That one you want, the Heath. Ooh, with the sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut,
oh my
pastrami.
God, that sounds so good.
On a hot...
So do you want to hear about the rest?
Can we
Really?
do this
Okay,
next week?
well.
Hot Rod just gave us the A-OK. The Reuben hot dog is the Heath Dog.
I
It's
love
going to be
that.
pastrami, sauerkraut, pastrami,
That's
sauerkraut
gonna
on a hot
slap. I'll
dog.
definitely eat one of those. Yes.
We gotta
and
share what?
Tell him that's
The recipe?
So
But it's still the Heath Dog,
he'll
though, right?
call it the Heath Dog. You can sell it,
Okay.
but it's got to be called the Heath Dog.
Hell yeah. Fuck.
So do you want to hear the rest of this stupid story? So
Yes.
we went to Bar Taco. We meet up. I'm instantly like, mouth is not checking out for me. But he was really cool. We were chatting. I had a couple drinks. So I'm like, frick it. We go over to Elbow. He meets everybody. Everybody's like, oh, this dude's mad funny. So I'm like, all right, maybe he's just like, I'm being superficial, right? So I asked Charity. I'm like, what do I do, dude? Like, his teeth are fucked up, right? And she's like, they're
Does
not
his breath
that
smell bad, though?
I didn't know up until we go to leave Spigot, and
This
I
is
walked
an
him out to
immediate
his
red
car.
flag. If you're not attracted to the dude's mouth, how are you
Agreed.
supposed to
Agreed.
fucking kiss his face?
Well, so this is the thing, because I was like, he was really cool, and like I've met people where I'm not instantly attracted to them, but I get to know them and I like their personality, and they can kind of become attractive. So I was like, all right, teeth are fixable. Like, I'm like, maybe if you just went to the dentist, they could fucking get rid of that shit or something. I don't know. So I walk him to this car. Mind you, I've had a couple drinks.
Yeah.
So he like, all right, bye. We go to hug. He kisses me. We made out a little bit. He wasn't a bad kisser. His mouth didn't stink.
Yeah.
It didn't even really smell like cigarettes, and he's a big cigarette smoker. So I was like, all right, whatever. So we talked a little bit more, and I decided, let's go on another date. I told him I was looking for a place that's my own room that I can do shows at. And he's like, oh, I got this real cool brewery. Let's meet up there. So it's, mind you, at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. It's daylight. I meet up with him, and as soon as I saw him, I'm like, nope. I'm done. I can't do this. Excuse me. So in the middle of us getting a drink, he mentioned something, and I was like, oh, yeah, well, because I haven't had sex in 10 months, I'm not breaking that for just anybody. So just know I'm not having sex with you. And because I'm autistic, I just said it just like that. And he was just like, okay. And I was like, I'm just being honest, man. And then we left, and it was super awkward. I think he might have cried. It was very strange. I feel bad because he was a nice guy. But, like, I'm not just going to have sex with just anybody just because they Mind you, I bought my food at Bar Taco. I bought my fucking own drinks most of the night. So it's like he can go fuck himself.
So he didn't even really take you on a fucking date then.
Well, no, because the thing about Bar Taco now, it's actually really fucked up. They kind of like, when you sit down, you have to decide, am I paying by myself? Am I paying with someone, or is someone paying for me? So you literally have to decide right then and there. I'm like, this is not a good date spot at all.
Definitely not.
So I
don't even think I've ever been there. Where's
it wasn't
Bar
like
Taco?
that before. It's right across the street from Elbow.
Oh.
But it wasn't like that like a year ago when I went there.
If you want to take a date on a discreet date, where men can be men and women can be women, come on down to Hot Rod Spotlight Lounge.
What kind of statement
where
is
that? you could get the Heath Dog, which is a pastrami hot dog.
I'm definitely going to eat that. This hot dog is slapping. Thank you.
You could get the lasagna tonight, and it's also Taco Tuesday, so 3 tacos for $9. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
So, yeah,
wow.
I'm dating. I'm in the pool, but nobody's dunked in yet.
So there you have it, folks. Me and Corinne are single and ready to mingle.
Your button popped. You're exposing your tum-tum.
Oh, fucking my belly.
You don't need an extra button. You can't even keep the ones you have closed.
All you needed to say after that was fatty.
No, you
and
do.
You
can
just
tell
sound like
you
one
lost
of my
weight. You
siblings.
can tell that the Stephen King curse is working because you look thinner. He does. He looks thinner.
There's nothing that'll make you lose weight faster than a Stephen King curse or cocaine.
Yeah.
Guys, this has been the 1000 Comics podcast. We have a comedy open mic, so come out right now.
Right now, come down.
Hot Rod Spotlight
you got
Lounge.
10 minutes. Get here.
Right now we're doing it. It's starts right at 9 o'clock. It's a comedy open mic. You sign up, you go up, you get 5 minutes.
Can I plug my stuff?
Sure. Can I finish plugging the mic?
No, I just didn't want you to cut me off.
Just get your asses down here and do some comedy. If you want to. That was a little aggressive. Anyways.
No, you should get down here right now.
Go ahead and plug
Me
whatever
and Matt are going to beat you up if you
plug
don't.
whatever you want, sweetheart.
So this weekend, I've been Northampton, Bishop's Lounge, and Saturday, New Haven at Dangles. Both are like basically competitions, I guess you could say. The first one is the Western Mass versus West Hartford, Connecticut. Life roast things, I guess. I don't know what the fuck you call it. And then Saturday, I'm roasting Brittany Robarge at Dangles. And then definitely come down when I have my roast in August for my birthday. Matt's on it and a bunch of other
The birthday roast. It's my birthday, your birthday, and Ian Carr's birthday. So come on down to Hot Rods on August 24th.
Heck yeah.
And have a good night.
Thanks for having me.
And God bless.
God bless.
Thank you, Corinne. Appreciate it.
Bye.